Yeah, I want to invite you to something glamorous. What's next? I'm inspired by.
Thank you everyone for tuning into Glam TV. It's your host, Miss Jones, and I'm here with the fabulous Mitchell Wayne, talking all things Beyonce, fitness, and following your dreams. So welcome, Mitchell. How are you?
I'm good. How
Welcome
you
to
feeling?
Glam TV.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so let's get right into it.
Okay.
Your Beyonce dance classes are literally sweeping New York City. How do you feel about all the love and support?
It's a big surprise for me. I didn't expect it because it initially started out as being just a regular class where we did every pop song. You know, we even went back to Paula Abdul, Lady Gaga, and beginning of this year, we had many artists with albums coming out, and we thought, okay, we have to come up with a nice list. We had Shakira, we had Rihanna, we had Britney Spears and Katy Perry and Beyonce, and we did them. And you know, they brought a crowd as usual, but it wasn't until I did, I think it was Blow was the first one that I did, and I heard, okay, we have 50 people coming to the class, which was not normal at the time, and then there was 50 people on a waiting list. I'm like, we have a waiting list? And then, can you do it again next week? Okay, so I did it again next week, and then same thing, again next week, and it just kept building. So it was a complete surprise and unintentional, but it's still a blessing, and it's surprising to me that it's still going on this long, but it's still a great journey, so I can't complain.
Now, I've had the pleasure of actually joining you in one of your classes.
Yeah, more than one.
Yes, more than one.
More than one.
And the energy in your class is just, it's on another level. Everyone is literally channeling their inner Beyonce.
Yeah.
So what goes into the choreography for you?
It takes me back to when I was younger because I'm not a trained dancer, I'm self-taught. I was in my bedroom dancing to Kids Incorporated and Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson. Like that old school.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, that's what I wanted to do. So I was used to locking myself in my room, even at 14, and having my VHS with the little turn dial and playing Baby One More Time and teaching myself all the choreography frame by frame. So now that I'm older, I guess it kind of helps because I understood how it was to watch an artist and be able to say, okay, I understand their style, and be able to go from there. So when I'm watching Beyonce's stuff, I take her pieces of choreography and I say, okay, what does that inspire me to do? Because her style is very feminine, it's very empowering, it's very strong and confident. So I take that and I say, okay, that's how I understand that theme, and with that theme, that's how you set the tone, and it kind of builds from there. It's a funky step, isn't it? It looks really simple, but when you do it, you're like, wait, I'm missing something. I'm doing something too soon and too late, or completely different.
Your journey to New York City is very inspirational. I feel like it should be a Lifetime movie.
I guess while I was experiencing it, it wasn't something I thought about. It was always the ending goal is if this is what you want to do, you have to go for it. I was a biology student, and I switched from biology to advertising and French because, one, those were interesting things to me, but they were a good, smart backup. I wanted to definitely perform, but I didn't have time to do that or even take classes to do that when I was biology. So I switched, and even my last semester, I was driving back in San Diego from Palm Springs from an agency out there, and I was in a car accident. My back tire exploded, and my car flipped into a ditch, and I crawled out the back window, and I only have a scar on my shoulder. But after that, it was the realization of, okay, I could have died. So what do you want to do? I wanted to perform. And I didn't tell my mother. I switched my major. I didn't tell her. I got a part in a play, a small part, and then every time we would rehearse, it would build and build into another part. It was Sweet Charity. And I ended up being Big Daddy, I guess was my biggest role, and I invited her, front row center. And I said, I don't want to tell her because I'm too scared, but I'll show her.
What did she say after she saw you on stage?
She said to me, well, actually first, when I was younger, she'd always say, you know, you can do anything you want. Don't let anybody discourage you from doing anything you want. Don't be a singer, be a doctor. That's my mother. So when I understood that coming from her family of 5 children, she's the youngest, she went to UCSD University, first of her entire family tree, so I understood that, me being her only boy. So when I was at this performance, I said, okay, if I want her to support what I do, she has to see it. And afterwards she said, I think you were born to be a performer, you should do what you love. researched the top 10 dance studios in New York City, and I said, okay, let me find out who the coordinators and the bosses are. I wrote to them all. I made up 5 different resumes for my degree, for what I'd already done in work, and for what I wanted to do, and what I performed in. And when I came here, I got a job the day before, and I booked my flight 3 weeks in advance. I had a friend that I realized had moved here just recently, so she let me crash on her couch all the way upstate in Wallkill, New York. And she let me crash on her couch for a few days. And I came here with a random job in marketing. Ended up hiring a woman who got me connected to Crunch Gym, Crunch Live, which is what I've done. And from there I met one woman who connected me to this company and Broadway Bodies. And from there I just started teaching. And striptease and burlesque was not a popular thing in this city.
No.
It is not a hot market in this city, so people didn't understand it. And I think being able to attach my style of dance into the Beyonce thing has really benefited me in that way. So I think it's cool, it's good. So my journey it's a crazy one. There's quotes that say things like, passion will make you crazy, but is there any other way to live? And I really truly believe that. If there's something that you really want, you can be smart about it, but go for it. And I'll let you know, there are so many people who are too afraid to take that step.
Yes.
Because they think, well, what about this and this uncertainty and this, and you have to prepare for this and save for this. Sometimes you gotta just throw your hands up and say, you know what? I believe that if I work hard, something has to pay off. Being able to work with Louis Van Amstel and Kiva Dawson, who's an original Pussycat Dollar, and being on Good Morning America and The View and the Today Show with Hoda Kotb and dancing with Kathy Lee Gifford. It's very humbling stuff. Like it's crazy when it happens to you when you're in it, but at the same time it's like, wow, what you see on TV or everything you dream of, it does happen. And
I feel like you're having that moment right now. Like
I really do. Like you can't be arrogant about it. You have to be humble about it, because at any moment, especially the dancer, you've got to know it can be taken away from you like that.
Your humility and the energy that you bring to the class, I think it's fantastic, Mitchell. And when I was in the class and I saw people behind me, I was like, wait, she's dancing like Beyonce, I'm dancing like Beyonce, he dances like Beyonce. It's amazing.
I think what people should take away from this class is it's not so much copying what she does, it's understanding what it is that people are so allured by or allured to or attracted to. It's the confidence she has in whatever she does. 10 years ago, for example, she was still doing her stuff, but people didn't pay as much attention to her because we had another person or group of people. We had the Britney Spearses, we had the Christina Aguileras, but it's different now. So it's that confidence that people are drawn to. So when I teach, I say, you could watch a ballet dancer with the best technique and the most beautiful lines, but what else is there? And that's why people are so drawn to, say, someone who's technically trained that still has that passion. So when I'm teaching people, I say, even if your background is in something completely different, if you can find that passion, whatever it is, whether you're goofy, or whether you can be sexy, because sexy is very subjective, or whether you can move in a certain way, put it into what you have, and that's how you can sell it. Don't worry about copying someone else. And if you're doing what they're doing, you're doing it wrong. And I think people really latch onto that, because they realize, oh, me looking like this in front of all of them, it's okay to be me. And that's how you understand what it is that Beyonce brings to the table, and I think that's what at least I try to bring to the table when I teach this class.
Finish it out!
I think it's a great workout. You learn a lot. You get to dance to Beyonce.
I think one of the really fun things about Mitchell's classes is that it doesn't feel like you're working out at all. And I feel like he makes the dancing so accessible. Like he doesn't use big terms and kind of breaks everything from like a ball change down to everything. So it's really fun and easy.
You end up really sweaty without even knowing that you were working out. I think it's a really awesome class. This is actually my second class, and I feel like I've been here for such a long time. He has a way of breaking things down to make it seem like it's easy, and you look like you're on stage with her.
Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely recommend this class. It's just so much fun. It's not only are you dancing like Beyonce, you kind of feel like Beyonce. He gives you confidence, he shows you the moves, and you kind of just take it and make it your own too. So he just encourages that creativity, and I love it. It's just so much fun.
I feel like Mitchell, before like we actually start the choreography, he always does his like freelance moving stuff, and like I feel like I take those moves that he does and like try to emulate them in my
Really
own
gets you.
personal life outside of this, because it's so much fun to see him just kind of move with the music.
It gets you out of your shell.
Well, there you have it, guys. If you want to channel your inner Beyonce and practice your Blue Ivy flawless hands, visit BroadwayBodies.com and sign up for a class today. Until next time, XOXO, Miss Jones.